Welcome to this beginner's tutorial in Adobe After Effects. So if you don't have a version of After Effects, you can go to the Adobe website, click here, and if you don't view it here, you can go to view all products and you'll be taken to this page. You can go down and click here and you can download a free trial for 1 week. So after you have downloaded it and installed, you can start the program. After installing and launching the program, you'll be taken to this interface here. So let's just look at what it consists of. So it mainly consists of 3 parts. So this is the composition or the project window where you'll be creating and importing projects. So you can import files, different types. And here you'll be viewing what you will be creating. And here is the place where the timeline where you'll be creating the animation, VFX or graphics, whatever you are going to make. So this is the project window. So it consists of many icons here. So this is not needed as it's a basic. This is the new folder. You can create a folder to organize your files. This is to create a new composition, the place where you'll be making your graphics and VFX stuff. So let's go ahead and make a new composition. So to create a new composition, you can click here or you can click here. There are many ways. So you can go to the new project or new composition here. So let's create a new composition. Click on this and you can give a name, my first project. And here is the preset. You can see this on YouTube 1080p. That is the highest high definition quality. So you can click on this preset and rest of this you can leave as it is. And this is the time code. So the project will start at this 0 and this is the duration. So it's now for 30 seconds. So this is hour, minutes, seconds and frames. If you need for 10 seconds or 20 seconds, click on 20 seconds. Click on OK. So after you have created your composition, you need to save the project. To do that, you can go to save or command S. You can give a name, project. So now you can see your composition here. Now let's take a look at this toolbar. There are a couple of tools here. Selection tool to select, hand tool to move around, and there is the magnifying tool, zoom tool to zoom in. You can reset it here. Also down here, you can see this options. You can hit the title, action, save. If you are typing in something, you can click on this again to disable this. There is like grid. So this is the resolution. So if you have a slow computer, you can bring down the resolution at what you view. Now to start doing something to create, you have to go to down here in the timeline or the composition. You can right click new solid. Here you're creating a solid and you can give a color to this. So you can click on this and select any color. So let me choose a color. So now you have created this colored solid and it is a background. So the next thing is, you want to create a shape. there is this tool here. So you can create different shapes. This is the rotation tool. So if you need to rotate something, so just click and drag on this. You can hit Command C to undo. So this is the pen tool, which we'll be looking at later. The type tool to type in something. So these are advanced tools. So we'll just leave it for later. So make sure that you have not selected anything here, and then click on this button, ellipse tool, to draw a circle. So I'll just drag and drop this. If you need a even circle, you need to hold down Shift, so it will become a even circle. So I have drawn a red circle. You can go and click on this fill and then change this again to any color. You can drag this slider to choose different colors. So down here, this is the layers. So each thing you have drawn is a layer. So whatever is on top will appear. So in case you put this underneath this, now this has gone behind this background layer. So if you put this up, it will appear on top of this. So you have the shape layer and the background layer. Now let's take a look at the properties. So if you click on this icon here, this arrow, you can toggle down the different options. There's the transform properties. So every object, every layer will have this. So you can look at this anchor point, the position. So if you change this, you are changing the position of that background layer. You can hit Command Z to undo everything. You can change the scale, the rotation of this. So if you change the scale, and you can rotate this like this. The opacity. Now there's something called as a keyframe. So you can see this stopwatch icon here. So if you need to change something over time, that is called keyframing. So to add a keyframe, just click on this stopwatch icon and it will add a keyframe here. So this is the keyframe. So in 4 seconds, if you need to change something, you need to change the position of this to here. Now you have changed that. So there is a keyframe here. So this is changing from this value to this value. So animating over this time. So if you play this, you can see this. This is changing over time. So that is called as keyframing. To remove this keyframe, you can click on this stopwatch again and it will be removed. So you can change any parameter over time using the keyframes. So again, for the shape layer, if you hold on this, you can see this condense, and there is a different values for this. This is like advanced. You can change the values of this also. You have lot of values here. So that is advanced. Again, this has a transform properties. If you select a layer and try to draw something using the shape tool, it will be a mask. So you have created a mask for this layer. So you can toggle on the mask and it will have different properties again, like, and you can change this over time using keyframing. So it has the mask feather, it has the opacity, the expansion. So you are simply drawing a mask over this layer. To delete a mask, you can click on this mask and just hit delete. Now that is deleted. Let's take a look at the type tool. The type tool is the T here. So there are two options, the horizontal type tool and the vertical type tool. To type horizontally, just click on anywhere and just start typing. And if you need to type vertically, just long click and type. To move this around, take the selection tool and you can move it around anywhere. So the type tool has two parameters. So that is the character and the paragraph. So the character, you can see this options here. So you can select the font type, the font family, anyone. So there are a lot of fonts to select from the Adobe library. So you can make it bold, etc. You can change the color of this using the eyedropper tool. To add a stroke to a text, you can go to this option here, stroke color, and click on this and then select any color. Click on OK. Now you have added a stroke to this. Now you can change the width of this here. Change the size of this text. And you can change the width of this text. Stroke. So there are different options here. All fills or stroke. And you can just try this. You can change the size of this by selecting and changing the size here. There are a lot of options you can select from. So this is very easy. You can just see this description here. You can hover over this and you can see the different things this options will do. Again, you have a paragraph option that is for a longer paragraph. So let's type in something longer. So if you go to the paragraph options, you can select this and you can align this to the left, to the right, and center the text. So these are the different options. You can also add effects to this. So this is under this option. There are a lot of effects which you can add. So there is for the animation presets for the text. So here you can go to text. You can search for typewriter effect. And if you drag and drop this, you can see that that effect is added. So this is an easy way to do effects. You can then just go under this and select the different types of effects and then just try out the different effects. Let's try doing a simple animation. So first thing, we have to draw a rectangle. So you have to select the rectangle tool here and then just draw a shape. Make sure you have not selected anything here. So just draw a shape outside, just covering that text. So now you have drawn this. Now we have to do something called as a track matte. So you will see this option here, track matte. If you don't see that, you have to click on this icon here and you can see this option will come here. So now we have to select the text and click on this alpha matte shape layer 1. So now you have made that a track matte. So when you select this text and when you move down, you can see that it disappears. So this is the animation which we are trying to bring. So you have to make this appear like this. So for doing that, just go to this text, then go to the transform and change the position. So we have learned about keyframes. Just go to here, somewhere here, then put a keyframe. So this is the final position. You can go to the 0 seconds and then just drag this down. Drag the text layer down like this. So now when you play, you can see this animation. So to see this, you can just render this spacebar. And you can see this animation coming like this. So this is known as a work area. So you can, this gray bar. So you can select this work area. So it will then just only render this much portion. So if you play like this, you can see it will just play only that portion. Now to make it much more smoother, you can again just select this text. We can make it quicker. So we can then just make the animation bit smoother. You can do something called as easy ease. So this is a keyframe technique so that this animation becomes much more smoother. To do that, you can just select this keyframe assistant easy ease. So now the animation will be much smoother. You can see that it is smoothly sliding in than before. To see this difference, I have just drawn like two balls. So you can see the difference here. You can see that the ball beneath is moving smoother because it's easy ease. The top one is like moving like a bit roughly. It's not smooth motion. So if you play that, you can see this. The one beneath is the easy ease, so it will be moving very smoothly. Now let's try to add an animation to shape layers. So to do that, you can go to this tool and then select the ellipse, and let's draw an ellipse. So hold down shift and draw an ellipse. And just draw another one inside this. So you have to make it a separate one. So you have to just click outside and make a separate one. So again select this, hold down shift and draw an inside one. Now let's just position this somewhere middle. And now to do this animation, let's try to rotate this. So let's select the outside one and go to rotation. And we can use something called as an expression. So to do that, you should hold down Alt or Command in Mac, Alt in PC and Command in Mac, and click on this rotation. Now you will see this expression window coming down. So let's use something called as time. So you can just type in time. So what this does is at a particular time it will do this rotation. So let's multiply this by 50. So you have set this expression. So now you can see this rotating over time. So over this 20 seconds it will be like rotating like this. So what we need to do is the inside one, let's rotate it the other way around. So to do that, you can go to again, select the inside one, go to transform, select this rotation, hold down alt, click on this, then again type in time and multiply this minus 30. So now it will rotate the other way around. So when you play this, you can see what this animation is doing. So the inside one is rotating the other way around. So you have easily made this using expressions. Now to add this to your project, you can just simply copy this here. Now this is added to our comb, we have to place it above this. So if you play this, you can see this. Now this is added to whatever animation which we have done. Let's try to animate these shapes. To do that, you can go down, select the shape and click on this add and select this trim paths. So let's do animation on that. So again, this is keyframing. Just click on the start button and then go to the end, some place which you require, and then make it 100%. So you can see this animation. If you play this, you can see this is slowly doing that animation. The outer one we can do it the other way around. So again, go to add, go to trim parts. You can again try all the settings here. So go to trim parts, again select the starting point, make it 100%, and the end you can make it 0%. So the circles are rotating the other way around. So this is how you do a simple animation. So if you go down this menu, you can see this many options. You can just try this out. It will have different changes in different properties. Let's try to make this animation even better by adding emotion. So this can be done by using a camera. So you can add a camera to this scene. So to do that, you can go to layer, new, camera. So you are adding a 3D camera. So you are making this 2D into a 3D plane. So after you have added the camera, you can select this button 3D layer and select all this layers, make them 3D. And you can go to this view and two views horizontal. Now you can see this. This is the camera which we have added. So you can see this. If you move this, you can see this moving. So we are moving the camera. So we are adding a motion like this to the scene. So it will become more dynamic. So to do that, again we have to add keyframes to this camera. So this is the top view. So this is the 2D view. So you can hold down this camera and then go to this transform options. Select this position and orientation. Now you can go to around here when the animation finishes. And then just change this position like this. Make sure that it is shown as XZ and you just move the camera like this. So you can hold down shift to make it into a correct plane. So if you look at this, Now you have added a motion like this. Now if you play this, you have added a motion like that. So you can retime this, you can make it slower again if you need the motion to be slower. Even if you hold down, there are many camera options. You can adjust the depth of field, focus distance, etc. So you can just play around this, and you can get an idea of what is happening in the camera. Properties. Till now we looked at how you can create different elements without importing footage. To import a footage into After Effects, you can just go to import here, right click, import file, and you can go to the folder and import your file. So I have already imported the files. Just click on this and import, and then just select your file, then new comp from selection. So now already new comp will be selected. Now what you have to do is you have to go through this effects list. So you can see many options. So under this you can go to this image, creative. And you can just drag and drop the different effects and see what happens. For example, we can just drag and drop this like this. Now some effect has been added to this. You can select and change the different properties here. So there are a wide variety of properties. You can go down this special effects, and there's this bad TV. So you can drag and drop this. Now you have added this bad TV effect. You can change the parameters here of this. So you have to just experiment and change the different properties. So likewise, you can then just add the different effects to your footage. If you need to remove this, you can then just select this and hit delete. So this is under the effect controls tab, and you can just delete the different settings which you have used. So for example, if I drag and drop this grayscale, this has been added here. So you can select this and just hit the backspace to delete that effect. Again, there is many options here. So you can use this blur and sharpen. If you need to add this Gaussian blur, you can change the Gaussian blur value here, and it will get blurred. You can turn off the effect by clicking on the effects button. So you have to just experiment by adding the different effects under this and try changing the parameters. Let's try to convert this scene into a rainy day. So we need to add rainfall and make this look like a dark blue day. So to do that, first let's color grade this. So let's go to effects and search for lumetri color, and then just drag and drop this, and under this basic correction you can change this temperature of this scene. So let's make it like a blue day, and just turn down this exposure, like make it a bit dark. So now it looks like it's like a dark rainy day. By using some color correction, we have made this change. Now we need to add a rainfall to this. So to do that, you can go to this effects and search for rainfall. So you have this CC rainfall, just drag and drop this. Now already you can see that there is a rain in the scene. So now you have converted this into a rainy day. You can change this different parameters here, like the drops size, speed, etc. So just play around these parameters until it looks like it's natural. So if you play this, you can see this. So it will take some time to render this. So you can, as mentioned earlier, change this work area like this. So if you play this, you have converted that footage into a rainy day. Completed your project. To export the final video, you have to go to File, Export, Add to Render Queue. So now a render queue will be opened and it will just show you the settings, the output module, etc. So you have to go to the settings here, and then you can just select the different qualities available. You can go to this output module, then select the format here. So usually you can select the H.264 format. So you can select the QuickTime or the MOV format. Now click on OK. You can select the quality. So let me select a lower quality, proxy quality, and then just hit on OK. Here select the format. Usually we output it using the QuickTime or as a MP4. To export as a MP4, you need to send it to under software. So it's better that you export as the QuickTime format. So the rest of this you can leave it as it is. Leave as it is. Click on OK. And there's option to output to. So you can select the folder where you need to output the final file. So let me just put it somewhere here. And after you have just selected all the settings, you can just click on render and it will render your file. So it's now started rendering. So now you have completed rendering the project. Now you can go there and you can just see the file there. So if you go to the edit, and you can see the file there. So if I open that, you can see your rendered file. So if you need to make another format, you can again go to this, or you can then just click on this and duplicate this. So again you can select another format, click on duplicate. Again you need to choose the different settings and specify the path.